Cafeteria at Westbrook High was a roaring ocean of chatter, clattering trays, and the occasional burst of laughter. But for Emily Parker, it was background noise, something distant, almost muffled, because her focus was on avoiding attention. She sat alone at the farthest corner table, facing the wall, eating slowly so she could time her exit when the hallway was less crowded. She was new, painfully shy, and had learned in just 2 weeks that Westbrook wasn't the kind of place where kindness was common. From across the room, Blake Turner spotted her. The guy was practically the king of the school, captain of the basketball team, straight-A student, thanks to tutors, not brains, and son of the city's police commissioner. He wore his bright red varsity jacket like a crown, and his smile was the kind that charmed adults but made kids uneasy. Blake didn't just have popularity, he had immunity. Everyone knew it. Next to him, Vanessa Reed sat with the cheer squad, 6 girls in perfect formation, all in matching red and white uniforms, hair tied back with bright bows. Vanessa wasn't just head cheerleader, she was Blake's girlfriend, the kind who ruled the school with a single eyebrow raise. She caught Blake staring at Emily and smirked. "Still obsessed with the new girl," she teased. Blake leaned back, spinning a soda can lazily in his hand. "Not obsessed, just curious. She thinks she's invisible. I don't like that." Vanessa's smirk deepened. "Let's change that then." By the time lunch was almost over, Emily was quietly gathering her things. She kept her eyes down, but the hairs on the back of her neck prickled. Something was wrong. As she stepped into the hallway, she heard the shuffle of multiple footsteps behind her. Before she could turn, a voice cut through the empty corridor. "Well, well, little mouse," Blake said, his tone dripping with mock friendliness. "Where are you running off to?" Emily's stomach dropped. She turned to see Blake, Vanessa, and the entire cheer squad forming a wall across the hallway. I'm going to the library," Emily stammered. Vanessa laughed softly, but there was no warmth in it. "The library can wait." Before Emily could move, Blake closed the distance in 3 long strides. His hand shot out, grabbing her bag strap and yanking her toward him. She stumbled, crashing into his chest. "My dad owns the cops," Blake murmured, his smirk inches from her face. "No one's gonna help you, and your mom's not here to save you." Vanessa crossed her arms, watching like a queen surveying a punishment. "Let's take her somewhere more private." The cheerleaders flanked Emily, cutting off any escape. Blake's grip on her arm tightened as he steered her toward the East Wing. Her pulse roared in her ears. The East Wing bathroom was infamous, dim lighting, cracked tiles, and an unsettling silence that seemed to swallow sound. Blake shoved the door open with his shoulder, dragging Emily inside while Vanessa and 2 cheerleaders stood guard at the entrance. The rest fanned out inside, closing the space around her. Blake pinned her against the cold wall, one hand pressing above her head, the other gripping her wrist. "You walk around here like you don't need anyone. That ends today." Emily's breath quickened. She tried to push him away, but he didn't budge. The cheerleaders laughed, filming on their phones. "You think anyone going to believe you?" Vanessa said from the doorway. "They'll believe him, they always do." What none of them realized was that outside, just a few dozen yards away, the city's SWAT team was training in the old gym parking lot. A special hostage rescue drill was underway, and leading the team was Commander John Parker, Emily's father. John was checking perimeters when something caught his eye, a flicker of movement through the dirty East Wing bathroom window. He saw shadows, one small, pressed against the wall, and several larger ones closing in. His gut tightened. "Team, hold position," he said into his radio, his voice sharp. "We might have a real situation." Inside, Blake leaned closer to Emily. "See, I'm untouchable. You're nothing here. You belong at the bottom, and I'm just reminding you." Emily swallowed hard, tears welling. "Let me go." The door slammed open. "Step away from her." The voice was a boom of authority that froze everyone in place. 2 SWAT officers in full tactical gear filled the doorway, weapons ready, and behind them, John Parker. For a heartbeat, the room was silent except for Emily's quick breathing. Blake turned, trying to recover his swagger. "We were just talking." "On the wall, hands where I can see them," one officer barked. Vanessa's phone slipped from her hand, clattering onto the tile. The cheerleaders backed away, their faces pale. John's eyes locked on his daughter. "Emily, come here." She ran to him, collapsing into his arms. "Dad." His arms wrapped around her tightly before he turned his gaze back to Blake, his voice like steel. "If you ever come near my daughter again, I will personally make sure you regret it." Blake didn't smirk this time. He was escorted out along with Vanessa and the cheerleaders. The principal met them in the hallway, her voice trembling as she promised full disciplinary action. "Blake, my dad owns the cops." Lines suddenly had no weight at all, not when the man in charge of the cops had just saved Emily himself. In the weeks that followed, Emily began self-defense training with her dad. He didn't just teach her how to fight, he taught her how to stand, how to speak, and how to look someone in the eye without flinching. One afternoon, as she walked down the hallway, Vanessa tried to throw a snide comment her way. But Emily stopped, turned, and met her gaze. "You don't scare me anymore." Vanessa looked away first. Emily kept walking, her head high. She knew she'd never be the same girl who sat alone, hopping to be invisible. And deep down, she knew that while her father had rescued her that day, the real victory was that she had learned to rescue herself.